Okay, do you want to play these two down here, and then I'll play these ones up here? Which ones do you want to play? It's up to you.
Oh yeah, these will be fine.
Okay,
I'll
so
probably lose either way.
I've played a lot of designers at their games, and my track record is not good when I play against the designers. So we'll see. All right,
All
so
right.
2 points per farmer. See, I don't like playing these open patty ones anymore because I got crushed on an open patty one. I feel like that's
Yeah,
kind of a tricky one to play.
it's yeah. I had some really great feedback from designers like Carla Kopp,
Okay.
and she was saying like that some of these felt like they needed kind of like more experience, and so it's nice that you can kind of like keep revisiting some of these cards. And so some of them are a little bit harder to handle
Yeah.
than others. And I've had other playtesters say, yeah, after a few plays though, you start to see where the strengths are in each of them, and where their weaknesses are too. Okay, I think we're gonna go with Kalyan though.
All right. So that is card. So we can delete this one, right? So it'll go down the toilet. Wee.
Yep. Oh,
And
hey,
then,
that's fun.
so that's card 15. So card
Okay.
15 is completely out of the game now. And then I am playing Sokintier. I pronounce that fairly close.
Oh, it's hard. It's a Sukuntia.
Sukantia. Okay. I am playing as her, and that's card number 14. All right, so I will take 14 out. And that means that your one that you did not choose is card number 16. So you can grab card number 16 right here.
Okay.
And then I am card number 13 will be my start. Cool. And then if you double click on these, they'll flip for you.
Oh, perfect. That's right.
All right. So that'll be my start to my landscape. And then do you have, I'm always curious, like I assume you've played this a bunch of times. So do you have like almost like a decision tree when you look at like your starting point of like, here are the things I'm going to try to do? Or is it more fluid than that, do you think?
Yeah, it's a little bit more fluid. I think it sort of depends on who you're playing against too. Um, since there's not a ton of um, well, there's not a million components. Um, things move pretty quick.
Right. Yep.
So yeah, it's always kind of a bit of a toss up in terms of what you end up doing strategically.
Yeah, and I also like, so it's not a ton of turns, right? And also, because the game is small, it feels like lower stakes. So to me personally, I'm the type of player who like looks at this stuff and is just like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And I try to like think, right? But like when it's a quick short game like this, I feel like you can
Mhm.
just sort of just roll with it and not worry about it so much. So it's definitely worked for me in my playthroughs pretty well.
Oh yeah,
To not
that's
get
that's good.
paralyzed, like I the games that are that type of thinky, I don't do very well with. Okay, so these will be your cards. These are my cards. You can
Okay,
select them all, and then you can just click the pickup button. Once you have them, you can just do like a big drag select on these ones,
right. And the
and then
yep.
there's a over. It should be kind of over here. I can't see your buttons, unfortunately.
Ooh,
Oh, there you go.
pickup. I
Yep.
see them.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. So then we'll start our first draft. I got to remember what I'm supposed to be doing with my ancestor here.
You'll have to forgive me. I think I'm gonna be focused on the controls.
Oh yeah, yeah. I do forget sometimes that I've played like dozens, probably hundreds of hours in this thing, so I'm very used to how it controls. All right, so I'll put my
Yeah.
score up
Oh
here.
gosh.
Put your score down here. Cool. All right, so yeah, and I'm uncomfortable with doing like the half card where you have the little like blank space. Um, that I feel like that sets you up for badness when you do that, and you've done it already. So maybe you know more than me.
Oh,
But
I don't know. It's sort of second nature to me. Um, but I see people do riskier things, and I'm like, oh my gosh, all right,
Yeah, how are you going to recover
good
from
on
that?
you.
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
And they
so
usually beat me, so.
all right, so I'm going to do that, and then we both score immediately the same. So it's
Yes,
a 3,
I
4,
need to.
5 points for both of us.
Right. 3, 4. Yeah.
All right, cool. And then I'm going to put.
Yes, I'm zooming around. I keep thinking like it's like Photoshop, so I keep pushing space and I start grabbing stuff.
Oh, so in Photoshop, what does space do as a shortcut?
When you space and then left click and drag,
Yeah.
it basically just lets you move around the
Oh, okay.
workspace.
Oh, well, so in this, it's shift in our world. Yeah, exactly.
Right,
So
right, yeah.
yeah, and that's like your brain breaks if it's like when you're playing a new video game, you do all the controls wrong for like the first 10
Yep.
hours. All right, so
First-person shooters are just not gonna work.
yeah, I'm gonna put this one out in the try line. Yeah, and then you can flip it over. Yeah, we got to think about.
There we go.
Yeah, we're gonna do kind of maybe like a play face up versus play face down button. We're not sure yet, but okay. So there's our first play, and then I can like grab yours.
Oh, okay.
And do that, and then you can grab mine and just do the pickup, and then they'll be yours.
Hey,
there you go.
Pretty quick.
Yeah. See, yeah. Once you do it a couple times. And are you a Gloomhaven player?
I started playing Gloomhaven. I think we got like 5 campaigns into it. Enough to where we got really comfortable with our characters.
Yep.
And then we basically got rid of all of our office spaces because I was playing at work during lunches. So each of the scenarios would probably take 2 or 3 lunches.
Yep.
But yeah, oh gosh, that's a really good game.
Yeah, it is. It feels like cliche to sort of rave about Gloomhaven, but I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah, how many games have you played?
I don't know. We might be like 18, 20 campaign or missions in, something like that. We're about to hit our first 2 retirements, I think. Whoa. And I think that's about average, like 15 to 18 missions. But yeah, it's good. It's just, each session, it is tough because you got to kind of leave it up. So each session, if you can't sit down for 2.5 hours, it's kind of tough to keep it up on your table all the time. All right, so I picked up 1 point there. Okay. See, this would and that would make me nervous in my playthroughs, like to leave that kind of a corner, but only because I don't have a sense for the fact that is that kind of piece kind of like common. And it's fairly common. I think like there's one there.
Every card gives you a corner, like a quarter of a patty.
Yeah, and that at first I was completely terrified to do something like that. So all right, so I picked up 1, you picked up none, and then I'm gonna throw out.
I realize that I can't see how much how many points you have. I mean, I could.
Oh yeah, we're keeping.
I
keep track for you as well. So like I know you have 5, and I have 6. So I did like 2 point total thingers.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That will be shared. That was a comment from Dave in the chat. But those will be shared, so we'll be able to see each other's scores. But so I'm at 6.
Okay, so I'm just gonna put 1 in.
And I was hoping to give you not a great option for that corner, but there isn't a way for me to do it because there are 2 cards that have that corner. All right, so I'm going to drop this guy.
So as soon as I drop the card, I have to double click?
Yeah, so when you drop a card, it drops it face down.
Oh, right.
And the reason for that, like, it is essentially you have it in your hand and then you put it on the table. We couldn't think of a good way to, like, give it to somebody else where you'd, like, slide it across the table. So we might have 2 buttons, one that's, like, play it face up and one that's drop it kind of face down. But for now, you drop it and then you double click on it.
Yeah, it works.
It works, yeah. You just kind of got to get used to it. All right, so I'll grab these ones. And then let's see. You know, we have plans to do things like sort of auto-organizing cards together so that you don't have to like drag them carefully around. They just sort of like snap to each other, like stuff like that for just from
Oh, yeah.
quality of life perspective. But the
That's
one
cool.
thing I'll tell you is that like anytime you try to make things work nicely, you immediately find a game that it screws up. You know, where people are like, oh, I don't want the cards to snap together because I'm playing whatever game, you know?
Yeah.
So making kind of a generalized tool is always a little bit tricky to make it kind of work for every single game. Okay, so let's see.
Ooh. Well, you gave me one card that was gonna really work out in my favor.
Yeah, I stole the one that but there was one in there that would work. So kind of bummed about that.
Let's see. I feel like there's pressure to actually like do well. My sister-in-law made a funny comment. She's like, "I love playing against you because you always lose."
Well, now you make a comment like that, and now there's pressure on me.
Man,
I can't be the guy that loses. Okay, so I have set myself up into kind of a mess here. So how long did you kind of put in on the design? Like how quick was the turnaround to get that built?
to the point at which there wasn't a whole lot of huge changes that needed to be made. I think maybe like 3 months.
Oh, okay, cool.
The first time it wasn't rice paddies. It was like stalls in a market sort of thing, and so everything was squares. And it like if you've seen Honshu, it looked a lot like that.
Okay.
Let's see. I should grab.
Oh yeah, I traded. This one's yours.
Okay.
Yep,
So this is the one I pick up. Okay.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work. There was just so many options, and it was hard to tell where to go. So I ended up going with something a little less conventional, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I think there's always something to be said about boiling things down as far as it can go, right? Because
yeah, it's true.
If you have a sufficient amount of kind of complex decision making in it, it's still very interesting, even without a lot of like stuff around the edges. Sometimes I look at like modern board games and I'll look at a game and I'll just be like, that looks like way too much information for me. There's like 100 zones on the board and there's, you know, like cards and bits all over the place.
Right.
And it's just intimidating to me, which is funny from a guy who plays a lot of Gloomhaven. But okay, so I picked up 2 points there. So I'm at 8. Oh, and then last turn you picked up a massive one, right?
Yeah, and I didn't score it.
Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It turns into a 5, so 10 points, 12 points.
Yeah. So I'm at 17, I believe. I think I had 5.
Yeah.
As soon as I kept clicking, though, I was like, wait a second, what did I start at?
Yeah, you were at 5, yeah, so 17.
Okay.
All right, so it's 17 to 8, which is that's not a great position for me. And what's your ancestor do? Let's see.
Okay, yeah, so this is a nice zoom tool.
Oh yeah, that's one thing. There's a hover zoom, right? So anywhere you put your mouse, and then if you click on a card individually, there's a zoom just for the one card, which will make it huge. Like it'll zoom it really close. And that way you can get a really good look at the text and the art and all that stuff.
Okay.
All right, so houses in closed patios.
You have a pretty good idea?
Are each worth 1 point per closed patio. Oh, adjacent to the patio houses in. Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so that complicated. All right, so I get to go first. And
I guess so. I should probably check the Twitch channel, right?
Yeah.
Oh, there we are.
And I'm going to go nuts and try to steal as many of these houses as I can because I do not want you to get them.
That's probably a good plan.
Yeah.
But now I'm kind of trying to focus on closing patties instead of just.
Oh right, yeah.
If I get surrounded, then it's gonna be a little rough.
Let's see here. So when you play, do generally people kind of like mess around and kind of like lay the cards out, or
Oh yeah,
and like do like, oh,
definitely.
let me try this, let me try this, okay, I'm gonna choose this one type
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
I mean, with a single card, and especially with the size of patty landscape that you have now, there's a lot of options to consider. So
Yeah.
I certainly I'm not gonna tell anybody that they can't like mess around and stuff. And it's fun. I remember doing like an overview, and I just kept taking this one card and rotating it all over the place. I was like, I'm spending way too much time doing this and not explaining what this game's about. So yeah, it's not a big deal. Oh gosh. Like I'm sitting here thinking, what am I gonna do?
Yeah, that's one of the things that I found with streaming too, with streaming games. So like I'll be trying to like pay attention to the stream and then like also chat so it's not like dead air.
Right.
And then I'm trying to have like any sort of strategy whatsoever, and then I've sort of just like given up on thinking. It's like I can't, because I'll just sit there quietly and then it'll be like a bad experience, right? So we just got to do a lot of losing. All right, so
Dropping. There we go.
all right, so that's what, 4 points.
Yep.
All right. Not looking good for old James here.
Oh.
Let's see if I can turn it around. So this is an interesting card because it just has this, it's so open on that side.
Yeah.
That one's a nasty one.
It can be helpful in certain cases. I've seen people just plug it in, and
right, like just have
can
exactly the right scenario where you can drop it in. Like see, that's what I was thinking. Like I could do this with it.
Yeah.
But the trick is finding a card that will do that.
Oh yeah, I mean in that instance,
yeah, I got this.
Any of the other cards I think might actually work.
Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
I'm hoping for some sort of massive point haul at the end here. I'm not doing a lot of scoring as the game is going on.
Well, I'm seeing that I need to close this because that'll get me points for both of these answers or so. I should probably, yeah, seems to be like the.
Oh yeah, add that to it. Oh yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 points.
See, 7 for the patty, and then 3 for the farmers. Is it?
Oh, that's right. Yes, 7 plus 3,
right.
10. Yes. Yep. It doesn't scale. I thought it was scaling linearly for the size of the patties, but it doesn't scale linearly for the size of the patties. Got it. All right, cool. I keep forgetting that. All right.
Well, this is dark over here. Hold on, just.
Oh yeah, there we go. All right, now we can see you.
I don't know if that's a good thing.
All right, so let me see. I think I need another buffalo because I'm trying to get these combos of house, farmer, buffalo. So I'm going to do this one.
Oh, yeah. We're going to close in 2 and 1.
You're going to close 2. Yeah, exactly. You got a question from chat from Jason. What does your shirt say?
Oh, actually, do you know the Board Game Design Lab?
I do not. No. Oh, it's a podcast, right?
Yeah. Gabe Barrett.
Yes.
Yeah. So it just says eat, sleep, play test, repeat.
Nice.
Yeah, he has a new one that came out that just crosses out the sleep part.
Perfect.
But yeah, that was actually the second contest that Seasons of Rice won. So that was
okay.
That was a lot of fun, just getting a chat with Gabe.
All right, so I got 1 point for this little guy, and then this is a 4 size, which is 7. Actually, it's 10 because of the house. So 10, 11 points for this four guy here. So I'm up to 20.
Nice.
Still down by 11 though. Okay.
I'm just trying to see if there's an optimal move here, and I think there's only like 2 good ones. So I'm gonna go ahead and twist this thing around real quick.
Well, you didn't even have to do that because that wasn't one you owned, so we could see that one already.
Oh,
Yeah, if it
I
doesn't,
picked it up to pin it down.
right,
Okay.
exactly, yeah. So in the real world, people would have been looking at you like, "What is this guy doing?" Okay, so all right, so you picked up what 3 more for that? 2 plus 1, yeah.
Yeah, I think
All
so.
right. 1, 2, 3. All right, so let's score your final.
Okay.
You've got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 closed patties. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
All right, 39, and then you didn't lose any from Buffalo, and then you got your little bonus.
Right. Okay. So
Let's see.
this one's always tricky.
A little tricky, yeah.
So it's 1 point per closed patty adjacent to the patty with a house.
Got it.
In it. And so I only have 2 houses. Houses also count. Patties with houses also count. So these. Yeah,
got it. I'm with you. Yep.
Okay.
Any patty that's adjacent counts, even ones that have houses in them.
Oh man, you explain it so much better than I did.
Well, I got the benefit of being the second one to go. So, okay, cool. So you get 2 points for this, 2 bonus points for this patty.
Right.
And then 1, 2, 3, 4 bonus points for this patty.
Yeah.
Did I count that right?
So
I think so.
6.
6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay.
I just zoomed off into the distance.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. We don't have, and that is one thing. I'm gonna do this real quick just so everybody sees it. You can just like zoom out and keep zooming out and keep zooming out, and then you get to like the ends of the world if you zoom out far enough. You get to like where we don't draw the grid anymore, and then you can come back in. We'll put some limits on that at some point. It's not high on the priority list currently, but yeah, we let you go off into the middle of nowhere. All right, so now that I'm back to normal, so it's 45-20, and then
whoa. Sorry, I haven't checked the Twitch, so I didn't see. Okay, cool.
Oh,
but we haven't done you yet. So.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. You didn't know that I was getting crushed. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 closed patties as well. So I'm up to 25, and then I get 3 points per set of 1 house, 1 farmer, and 1 buffalo. And I have 2 total sets. I didn't get that 3rd buffalo. So I get 6 points from her, which brings me up to 31. And then I lose 2 points for my open patty buffaloes. So I'm at 29. So 45-29 is the final. Yeesh. It's a bad one.
Didn't do too bad.
Yeah, no, that was good. That was good. This has been cool because we've played three times through, and we've seen 6 different ancestors during those 3. I actually made sure that we didn't get any repeats, so we got to see people play a lot of different types, which is neat. Cool. So what else do you have on the burner? Are you working on other projects? Are you, every time I talk to a designer, like kind of like, there aren't many designers that are working that are like doing this full time, so like they're all kind of like working off and on different projects, kind of like almost always. So do you have other stuff that you're doing right now, or what's the story?
Yeah, I have a couple other projects that I'm working on. They're nowhere near like even having like a really good working prototype that's, fleshed out in any meaningful way that, with graphic design and all that stuff. But I do have one that's actually getting close to that stage. I still need to mess around with it, but it's called The Haunting at Wormwood Manor. And it's a 2-player asymmetric game.
Okay.
And it's a roll and write. So.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, that one's fun. I know the roll and write seems to be pretty.
It's hot.
A flooded market right now. I know.
But they're cool, man. I think that it just gives a lot of like weird possibility space. Right?
Oh yeah, it's something. Where new ground can be broken all the time, and so this one in particular has an interesting mechanism where you can overlap your paper with your opponents, and so.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I thought that would be a fun play, but we'll see if that actually ends up staying in the game. Be sad if it left, but that's okay. And then I have a couple other things. An exploration type game with deep sea diving. It's meant to be kind of like a really big kind of campaign style.
Okay.
But it's also very much in the work in progress.
Yeah, I feel like that would be kind of a daunting. I mean,
It really is.
because you have
it
to
really
build
is.
like you have to worry about like mechanics of the game elements themselves, but then you also have to worry about like the meta game and like the arching campaign stuff, which
Right.
that seems like a big mental project to me.
It
but
is,
but all
and
these things
especially.
they always seem like big mental projects to me. So it's
Oh
just
yeah.
that seems like even worse though.
Well, in Seasons of Rest is just 18 cards, and so there wasn't a whole lot of. The confines actually gave me a lot of freedom to just kind of go nuts, because you were only constrained by these components, and so it didn't. I don't know. It didn't really matter that I kind of tried to do any and everything, and just realized what needed to stay and what needed to go. But as soon as you start to kind of delve into these larger games, where the sky's the limit, it gets really hard. So having that much freedom is really scary.
Yeah, I feel like you'd end up sort of in like a never-ending iteration where it's like you're twisting dials kind of all over the place, and it's hard to tell any single change if you're making it better or worse. So
Right.
it's just,
Yeah.
especially in a campaign game where like you can't tell if your change is good unless you play like a bunch of missions. So
Right.
a lot of it must feel just kind of like squishy, which would I feel like would be kind of uncomfortable. But
Yeah. And that's where I think, you start to get into relying on what other people like feel about it. So blind playtests or watching playtests happen, I think is going to be really important in some of those cases where you just see people, like cringe or, express some sort of emotion. That's what I'm looking for. And so that's a harder thing too, especially being in a place where it's hard to make it out to play games with people that you don't know, people who
right.
don't like you. So
Yeah, because I mean I do think that's the key, right? You can't. Of course, you can play it with your family and friends, right? But like,
oh yeah.
they're not going to tell you the truth. Let's be serious.
Yeah, I know. I like it. It's so fun.
Yeah, I'm just happy that you're doing what you love, right?
Yeah. Thanks, Mom.
No, that's cool. That's really cool. So if ever a system existed that let you play board games with people all over the world, see, you could use this.
Oh yeah, no kidding. This is really nice. Do you have a lot of people who are using this currently?
We have a small beta test group, so there's actually
Okay.
hardware included in it. So like there's like this arm for like holding the phone was included in the product, and then I scanned with the phone this way tonight, like with the phone just sitting here. But there's also, hold on, reach off the screen here. Like we have a box that you put the phone in, and then you put cards in. So like you would put the cards in face down in the box. So it's almost like a scanner. It's like a flatbed scanner where you put a card in, close the top, it scans the card. And the reason we do it is so you can scan cards in face down.
Okay.
So if I want to give you a card secretly, I can do so with the box. So if you want to play a game like Gloomhaven, it doesn't matter, right? But if you want to play games
Right.
where it matters that nobody else knows what cards you're holding, you got to be able to scan them secretly. So so we have some people locally who are playing, like in the upstate New York area, who we've given hardware to, and they're playing it. But it's it's not like we're in the hundreds or anything like that. We're in the double digits of people who've used the system. So so it's tough, just to get any sort of like platform like this off the ground is tricky.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But one of the things that we're doing right now is just like working on building community, getting more people to know about it, do sessions like this where we meet people and play different kind of popular games.
Yeah.
And then we take another swing at it. Maybe we'll see. We're not sure yet. So.
It's nice though. It's accessible. If you have the game and you have a phone available, you can scan them in, and you don't have to have like the digital like art files and stuff to push in, or I don't know. Like I think that there are some gates for other platforms like there's Tabletopia, right?
Yep. Tabletop Simulator.
Tabletop Simulator, which is always like $20 or something.
Yeah, and Roll20 for D&D or other tabletop RPGs exist. So there's there are other options. And we're just trying to make it so you don't have to wait, because a lot of times it's like you got to wait for the publisher to like put the art together and get it all online and all that sort of stuff. So we're hoping that our solution will be interesting to people. We'll see.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
Also, nobody pay attention to my video. I think I'm like lagging
Oh, okay.
5 seconds.
Yeah. Also, we do have in the chat. I think I hear popcorn being made.
Oh yeah, that's true. Popcorn is being made.
That's good. Cool. Well, Corry, I appreciate you coming on, man. This is cool. I like playing the games with people who made them. So thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you for having me and hosting this. It was really cool seeing the games being played, which I wasn't a part of. So that's also
awesome. And definitely good luck to you. And I don't know if Jason is still on, but good luck to you and Jason with the rest of this Kickstarter. And then, let me know if you're getting deep into some more designs and stuff. If you ever want to like mess with play testing, like long distance, I'm always game for that type of stuff. So like just reach out. And we'll wait one more second to see if there's any other questions for folks, for you in particular, if people wanted to ask you any questions about the design. But is there any other stuff you'd want to plug, like how to reach you or how to follow you, or what's the good place for people to get the Corry Damey news? And is your last name pronounced Damey, by the way?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay,
Damey.
good. All right, cool.
The public library always says Damey, but they're wrong. I'm relatively active on Twitter. I'm not as good as some other people, but that's probably the place you can reach me the easiest. I think that's pretty much it, though.
Cool. And what's your handle?
It's at Corry Damey.
Oh, okay, sweet.
Yeah, very easy, I think.
Yeah, that's an easy one. That's lucky, you don't have to spell it out or anything like that. So
right.
Cool.
Well, unless there's a lot of variations, of course. So it's Corry.
Oh, right.
For those interested.
Cool. All right, man. Well, I appreciate it. And Jason, definitely. I'm actually pretty close to Jason. He's in Jersey, and I'm over in New York. So definitely, if you're ever in my area, give me a shout. And for folks who are here, we have a couple other games coming up on the stream in the next couple weeks. A big one that we're planning pretty soon is Lockup by Thunderworks Games, which is a role player tale, kind of in their role player tales line, where it's not actually one of the role player games, but it's in the same universe. That's getting released at Gen Con, but we're working to get one up on the stream in about the next week. And then I have, I don't know if anybody around backed the Trogdor game, the Homestar Runner board game is actually arriving next week. That Kickstarter is delivering. So we're going to be having that on stream either next week or the week after as well. And it's angry. Somebody's angry. Streamlabs was angry at Jason for spamming caps. Oh yeah, my bot keeps you from doing caps, and Jason typed in all caps. Yeah, Trogdor, that's right. So if you're interested in seeing Trogdor, definitely follow us for next week or the week after. And thanks so much for the Button Shy folks. Corry, thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
Dave, as always, good talking to you. And everybody, hopefully we'll see you next time. Good night.
All right. Good night.